because it became very evil, very dangerous. I was very aware that I was going to become a very big target when I actually brought this to light. And so for him to lean in and say that immediately, I was like, oh, Bartlett. Anyway, he's been very supportive every day amidst the barrage of people who have been very excited since I dropped this documentary and then did the 3 chapters with Mike Adams. If you haven't seen it, before Stu Peters dropped the documentary, I had already filmed 4.5 hours with Mike Adams privately in his studio and did 3 one-hour chapters of all the documents that led through my discovery. And any medical professional who has watched it, any of those 3 chapters, literally texts me and goes, oh my God, I had no idea that you had that much documentation to back up your narrative. And then it's been incredible to watch medical doctors around the world and scientists around the world going, how did he figure this out? And none of us figured it out. Every question, for those who are willing to look, every question related to COVID, every mysterious symptom, every vaccine injury that's being overlooked and dismissed can be answered with venom. It's odd. So I call it COVID-19. And I'm going to take you through what it is I uncovered. But this Time magazine article cover tells you the whole story. From January 11th, 1999, they've been working on this. Trying to create a hybrid DNA using your God-created DNA and inserting the DNA of the serpent into yours. That's what they're doing. So, yeah, and you'll read down here, it says, how genetic engineering will change us in the next century. Do you know who else says they want to change us? There's a guy named Klaus Schwab who actually says that. He actually says that. We will be changed. That's what he says. So ridiculous. Okay. All right, so I get a text from Dr. Richard Bartlett. I'm going to take you through some of my discovery and then what you guys need to focus on, some of the answers that this provided to me, and then someone's going to have to tell me when to stop talking. Because I've done events with me and Peter McCullough where I've actually talked 6 hours straight. So before I was asked to get out and leave. So we can go for days, and this was before this information. So, you know, I used to be known as the remdesivir guy. Nobody wants to talk about remdesivir anymore. But they just approved it. The FDA did this last week as the only COVID-19 treatment for infants. So ask me how I feel about that. So there are, I could talk about remdesivir all day, but remdesivir, if you just want to know, has every published side effect of what's called cobra toxin in the venom of king cobras. So if you I think for a second, it's okay to inject that into anybody, y'all are insane. So I will speak out, I will speak against remdesivir and its use until I pass out and go on to the next realm. But as far as COVID-19, let's talk about that. So I get a text from Dr. Richard Bartlett. I want to kind of break down this narrative for you so you kind of understand what my discovery is for those of you, some of you already know. But there's some things that are really cool that have come to light even since I brought this up. Number 1, you need to understand, I love when people say this, he's a retired chiropractor. Yeah, no kidding, thank God, because I can see things in a way you're not looking. And thank God I have a limited view of drugs, which is most of the time I don't trust them anyway. And it's just how I am. I trust God's natural immunity and things God put on the planet to use in the form of diet, nutrition. I'm sorry, that's just what I trust in. So I trust more in nature than I do in science all day long. All right, so that is my view. So I get this text from Dr. Richard Bartlett. And the reason why he sent me a text, the text read December 1st, hey, Dr. Ardis, if you got bit by a rattlesnake, would you go to a hospital and get antivenom? And I remember looking at that going, hi, Richard Bartlett. Why are you sending me this? This is my thoughts, right? Why are you sending me that? That's totally off ball, right? And totally unrelated to COVID. I mean, Dr. Richard Bartlett and I have been on stages for the last 2 years talking about early treatment and how to succeed and helping cure people with COVID. You don't have to be afraid of COVID. No, it's not for